What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and this is going to be interesting. So I'm not going to combine combo and deck profile in the same video, but I'm going to actually upload the deck profile today, so definitely stay tuned for that, especially if you're interested in rank 4 strategies. But regardless, this is going to be quite interesting, even if you don't really care about it. And this deck is pretty straightforward, pretty linear. I want to say this is probably the best deck I would recommend to any beginner in Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward. And the reason for that is because there's pretty much no way to mess it up. It's just, you look at your hand, you play out your cards, that's it, that's all. It's just a rank 4 toolbox, and if anything, you're actually locked underwater the majority of the time, so there are not a lot of options that you can really go into, which kind of reminds me of the Going First True Draco deck, where even if you actually give it to someone who's never actually touched Yu-Gi-Oh! In their entire life, they might still be able to actually maybe get a top cut at a regional, even if it was like their very first event of all time. But yeah, what do I actually think of the new cards that are actually giving support to the rank 4 strategies? Do I actually think that these new cards are good? I think they are good, but not broken. Let me explain myself. So, Ice Knight is the one of the two cards that we actually got. It's pretty much like a double summon for the deck. So obviously on the field during your main phase you can activate an effect. You can activate the effect so it's not continuous, which gives you another additional normal summon for a water monster, and it doesn't actually have to stay on the field when you want to get to that extra normal summon. So it's not really like Seraphonite, for example, where if you summon the Seraphonite and you pop the Seraphonite, your next normal summon won't be the extra normal summon of Seraphonite, obviously. But yeah, and the second card is also Silent Nettle or something like that. It's just a free special summon from the hand, so nothing broken, and again, nothing too kind of interesting with this. However, it does have a pretty cool effect where you can actually shuffle back 3 water monsters from your graveyard into the deck by banishing it from the grave. And the reason for why this is actually good is because it actually allows you to summon Toad up to 6 times in your... Actually, multiple times. You can loop Toad and Bahamut Shark, because obviously they're all water. But yeah, let's get into combo number 1. I actually have 3 combos to show you, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And like I said, the deck profile is coming up in a few hours, but yeah. Alright, so assuming that you have something like... let me just show you this card. Lantern Shark. This card is kind of like a Tin Goldfish in a way. You can special summon Ice Knight from your hand and then get an extra normal summon. Like I said, you won't have to keep it on the field when you get that normal summon, so you can just Xyz and then detach with Bahamut Shark, and then you're going to be able to use your extra normal summon on Double Fin Shark, which is a monster reborn, and obviously you couldn't really use this before because you had absolutely nothing in the graveyard. So you won't really have to, you don't want to waste this normal summon on something that could revive back something, but obviously since you have no cards, it won't do anything, it's just going to be a vanilla. So this is the best way to do it. You're going to go Bahamut Shark, summon Toad by detaching Lantern Shark, and again, in case you're wondering, does this deck play around Nibiru? Well, count the amount of summons. 1, 2, Bahamut Shark equals 3, and then Toad is summon number 4. The worst case scenario is you summoning Toad on summon number 5, but that really doesn't change anything. So yeah, you have some 1-card combos that make Bahamut Toad, some 2-card combos that make the same thing, and some 3-card combos that make double Bahamut, double Toad, and then there are some bigger combos, 4 to 5 card combos that actually make triple Bahamut, triple Toad. But yeah, alright, now you're going to get that extra normal summon, revive back that fish. Again, it has to be a fish, this is why we can just detach the Aqua Knight, and then yeah, then just make your second Toad, and that's it, that's all. I just want you to remember that you are locked under Xyz, and you are locked under water. So you can't just say, oh yeah, but you actually could have made Utopic Future, and then Utopic Future Dragon would have been an extra interruption. I can't because of the water lock, otherwise I would have been able to, but Double Fin Shark unfortunately locks you under water, but it's not the end of the world. Anyways, let's get into combo number 2. Alright, so I just really want to show you that even with a completely different hand, you can still do the exact same board. And the thing is, literally every single card in your deck is an extender, except for this card right there, Buzzsaw Shark. This card is like a 1-card starter on the field, which is, obviously everyone can agree that this is by far the best card in the entire deck. It's borderline overpowered. This is the 1-card Bahamut Toad, and then Silent Nettle, sorry, is the second new card. Technically, it was the first announced, but who cares? And then there's Silent Angler, a pretty old card. I think it was like in a Battles of Legend pack, I forgot. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters from the hand for the rest of the turn. So it's like a hard once per turn that said, isn't really a hard once per turn. It's kind of like how Pot of Extravagance is a once per turn effect, even if it doesn't say once per turn, blah 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 blah. And then Silent Sea Nettle also has an effect to summon itself from the hand. Now, one trick that you shouldn't actually fall into would be summoning the Silent Angler first and then the Silent Sea Nettle. You can do that because the Silent Angler unfortunately locks you under no special summon from the hand until the end of the turn, which kind of sucks. So make sure you always summon your Nettles and everything else, even with the Lantern Fish, whatever, before, and then finally at the very end, then you can summon Silent Angler. So the order definitely does matter. Anyways, so we're going to go for Buzzsaw Shark first, and then summon our, oh, this is actually really interesting as well. Deep, Lifeless Leaffish. Now, the majority of the monsters that you could potentially summon are all garbage. However, this is actually a Daigusto Emerald in the graveyard. You can banish it, and then target 3 fish monsters in your grave, shuffle those monsters into the deck, then draw 1 card. And on the summon, you can foolish your deck for a fish monster, but unfortunately, the fish monsters don't really have effects in the grave. Otherwise, this could have potentially been a 1-card Bahamut Toad, but that is not the case. So yeah, we're just going to summon that Bahamut Shark and then that Toad. So again, this card, this overpowered card right there, the Buzzsaw Shark, is a 1-card Bahamut Toad, which is a lot, man. Because when you have this and 4 hand traps, or you know, 2 hand traps and 2 extenders so you can make another Bahamut Toad, you're already at 4 or 5 interruptions. That's it, with no effort, and your opponent can't really hand trap you. What is he gonna do? Valor on this? Okay, a special summon. Bahamut Toad, another Bahamut Toad. It's like the same thing. So hand traps don't really have a lot of impact, and since your Toad can actually just negate everything, Nibiru is useless here. So which is really disgusting. Anyways, like I said, the order definitely does matter, so summon the Nettle, and then the Angler, then Bahamut, and then Toad. Exact same end board, with 3 completely different cards. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. Every single hand is super consistent. I have never really met a situation where I couldn't make at least 1 set of Bahamut Toad with a bunch of at least hand traps and stuff like that, because this deck plays a lot of hand traps. Anyways, let's get into the third and final combo. Alrighty, now you actually see it. This deck actually plays a lot of completely different cards, and this is actually going to be featuring the two new cards in one combo. So Ice Knight and Silent Sea Nettle with Tenyi Spirit Shatana, which is a free special summon, whatever. You could technically also play Unexpected Die. It's just that the vanilla monsters are bad. So why would I play an engine that forces me to play bad cards where I can just play like some other good cards like Shatana? And again, you might also be saying like, oh, just play Rescue Rabbit. The thing is, I already play a lot of normal summons, and Rescue Rabbit loses really hard to Valor, Imperm, and Ash, whereas this card doesn't lose to any hand trap whatsoever outside of Gamma. Because if I get Ashed on it, whatever, the body's still on the field. If I get Valored or Imperm, whatever, the body's there. And I can just special summon anything. But if I get hit on Rescue Rabbit, it's not a water monster, so I can't make Bahamut Shark with it as a material. So it just sits there and doesn't do anything. And then, yeah, it's pretty bad. And all of my extenders that require me to have a water monster on the field, they're completely useless. So Rescue Rabbit is absolutely out of the question. You cannot play it in the fish water deck. So yeah, anyways, you're going to summon Shatana first, and then you're going to normal summon the Ice Knight, which gives you an additional normal summon. So now you're going to go for Bahamut Shark and then Toad. Safer to do that instead of trying to summon 10 billion times and then, oh no, my Toad couldn't, my Bahamut Shark was in summon number 5 and then I can't play the game anymore, then you get Nibiru'd. Definitely not trying to go on that direction. But yeah, now we're going to be able to normal summon the Lantern Shark, which special summons the Buzzsaw Shark. This, the Buzzsaw Shark, or whichever monster that you summon off of Lantern Shark, is actually not going to be negated. So this Buzzsaw will be able to summon from the deck. Such a broken mechanic, ridiculous. And again, this is a Daigusto Emerald, so that's pretty good. It's not like you were just summoning a vanilla monster from your deck. And the thing is, this deck doesn't really neg, because even though it's a 5-card combo, ooh, technically 5-card combo, and I end my turn with 0 cards in my hand, that means absolutely less than nothing, because this Toad is like a +10. It negates my opponent's card, I steal their card, and I recycle a water monster from my graveyard. So I'm taking 3 cards from them, I'm recycling 3 cards from myself, and then I top deck for turn, and I have Daigusto Emerald. So I'm already back to having 5 cards, and I have 3 negates. That's pretty good if you ask me, and it's really hard to bait a Toad. You need a pretty good hand, but yeah. Anyways, Bahamut Toad again, and that's it. You have a pretty stacked graveyard. Every single time you use that Toad effect to recycle back something, it's always like those really powerful one-card combos as well. It's not like random bullshit. And these Bahamut Sharks, they still have materials, so you could actually just get rid of these 3 Toads, and then there's the graveyard effect of the Silent Sea Nettle, which allows you to recycle back all the 3 Toads into your extra deck, and then next turn you go Bahamut, 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 summon 3 Toad again, and then if all of those cards get outed again, you recycle 3 Waters again from your graveyard, then you have another Silent Sea Nettle, which recycles back Bahamut, Toad, Toad, or Bahamut, Bahamut, Toad, and then again, another Silent Sea Nettle, the 3rd one, would recycle the 3 final cards. So I think in one single duel, it should be possible to summon Toad 9 times. So the 3 initial times, and then 3 times after you recycle them initially. Wait, hold on. That should be... Yeah, no, that actually should be 7, actually. 7 or 8. But yeah, still pretty good. This deck definitely has a lot of potential to be... I don't want to say like a tier 1 contender, but definitely really good for rogue players or anyone that is new to the game. So again, if you don't really have too much experience in Yu-Gi-Oh!, I would seriously consider picking this deck up as soon as it gets released. I think all the cards that you're missing are from Animation Chronicle, and I also don't believe that any of the cards you'll need are expensive. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to make a more in-depth combo video plus deck profile and full analysis on this deck when we get all the cards, so I'm actually going to be able to tell you guys, oh yeah, and by the way, for like maybe $100 or something like that, look at what you can actually get and how far it can get you in an event. I'm really looking forward to start making budget videos because for some reason everybody is obsessed with having physical cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is pretty funny because I travel to more events than the majority of people who play this game casually, and I don't own any cards. Like, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Card collection is only worth like $1,000-something, which is nothing. I keep losing value in everything. My Zodiac Barrage went from like $140 to $1 in like a couple of months, but yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Motivates me so much to keep making videos like these, and I will see you next time. Peace.